New mutants are dangerous. That's why you're here.
Ooh, scary.
This isn't a hospital. It's a cage.
Together, we can get out of here.
That thing will kill you!
He's right, it's magic. So am I.
That was so hot.
What's the last thing you remember, Danny?
He said we had to run.
Would anyone like to share their first time? Rain?
I was 13. I thought it was a dream. I just lost control.
Sam?
I started panicking. People got hurt.
Roberto?
My girlfriend had burned her.
Ileana?
I killed 18 men, one by one. This isn't a hospital, it's a cage.
It's important we find out your power so we can help you get better.
I saw something I don't think she wanted me to see. I don't think we're here to get better. We can get out of this together.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Marvel dropped another New Mutants trailer because they just announced a new release date. So we'll break it down. There's some Easter eggs and some other big X-Men Marvel news inside the MCU. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We might actually have a chance at seeing the New Mutants movie at this point. When we get a little closer to the movie coming out, I will do movie ticket giveaways. But as you see, the movie is now coming out August 28th, right after Wonder Woman 1984. Look at the story that's told by all these New Mutants movie posters. These are all the different release dates on it. The first one just says coming soon because it was the teaser poster, but then you notice that each of the dates year by year just keep changing until finally we hit August 28th later this summer. That's how many times they've tried to release this movie. First Fox and then now Marvel. The reason why they're trying for August and not doing it a little bit sooner is just because August is when most of the major studios are expecting things to get back to normal, at least enough for most people to feel safe enough to go to a movie theater, and for most of the major movie theater chains to have completely reopened, even if it's at diminished capacity. Even if ticket sales aren't great because people are still afraid of the virus and the whole world just isn't quite ready to go back to movie theaters in public, they still make way more money by putting it in theaters first before video on demand. But the big thing that Disney and all the other movie studios are doing is it's shrinking the window for when it goes to video on demand. So it used to be about 90 days after theatrical release that you could get it on video on demand platforms. Now it's going to be like half that, so the movie comes out at the end of August. You'll probably be able to buy it on iTunes and other video on demand platforms within about 2 months of that, and then a month after that, it'll probably hit Disney+. So regardless of how you decide to see New Mutants, you'll probably be watching it before you have a chance to see the Black Widow movie, which isn't coming out till November now. They recently released some more new footage separately from this because even though we didn't know when the movie was coming out before this, they still wanted to promote it, so the Twitter account has been posting some new stuff here and there. This is just a much better look at the limbo dimension that Magic teleports into to fight Demon Bear in his physical form. He's the main villain of the New Mutants movie. I've talked about him in a couple of my trailer videos before. It's all about the very first New Mutants comic book arc that they're adapting for the movie. And while this is technically Marvel's first big X-Men movie that they're releasing because they just bought Fox, and Fox had already made the movie for the most part, the actors and the producers have talked about what's going on behind the scenes with these characters and the future of this franchise. If New Mutants is successful, the director has talked about plans for a sequel. Originally, they planned to do a trilogy when it was still back at Fox. They were going to spin up to more Hellfire Club stuff, they were going to introduce Mr. Sinister through these movies, and eventually they probably would have crossed over with the more legit mainstream X-Men movies. The big change they made at Marvel Studios now, though, is that they're kind of treating this like a one-off just to see how things go. Right now, Marvel Studios' X-Men plans are actually a little bit different because they have a bunch of different characters that they want to introduce. You have the stuff that's going on during Black Panther 2 in the X-Men that they want to introduce during that movie. Then you have Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool 3 movie over on the other side that's kind of its own thing too, not necessarily mainstream MCU yet, even though they do want to try and get Deadpool into an MCU movie.
I'm hoping it's released sooner than later, but I know Disney's super excited about it. They bought it from Fox, where I used to work, and here we go. Yeah,
is Deadpool also Fox?
Deadpool, yeah, what was Fox, and then now it is in the hands of Marvel over there at Disney. Yeah.
And what and can those worlds be combined, or we don't know?
I see so much. I see infinite possibility in either version. You know, if Deadpool were to be in the Marvel comic universe, I think, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe rather, I think it would be explosive and amazing, and what a sandbox to play in. If Deadpool continued to get to just do his own thing and be his own thing, also just like infinite possibility.
Then you have the full-blown Marvel X-Men reboot movies with different actors playing the characters. That's a little further off. What you'll start seeing, though, is little characters pop up here and there. I know a lot of people are wondering, too, what about X-23? Because even though Hugh Jackman said that he's never coming back as Wolverine, you still have the actress who plays Laura, who's still pretty young. She's a teenager now, so she looks quite a bit older than she did in that movie, but she could still play a version of X-23 in the MCU. The problem with stuff like that is that you have to explain Wolverine before you can explain X-23, and it's going to be a couple years before we find out who the new version of Wolverine is going to be in the MCU, even though Mark Ruffalo has been going on and on about pitching a Hulk-Wolverine crossover movie. I've already done a couple videos about the future of the Hulk character inside the MCU. Mark Ruffalo is sticking around and he's pitching projects to Kevin Feige, including a Disney Plus series that's like a revival of the Incredible Hulk TV series as well as movie stuff. The reason why Wolverine has so much history with the Hulk character is because of all the Easter eggs through the Weapons Plus program and Thunderbolt Ross. They're sort of getting into that during the Falcon and Winter Soldier series later this year, and if you're all bummed out because of the virus and you're looking for some good news, the Disney CEO that just took over actually said that none of the Disney Plus series are going to be delayed this year. And while New Mutants is going to be the first mutant-based movie that Marvel releases, WandaVision is really where we're going to start seeing mutants in the MCU, legit mutants, even though technically Scarlet Witch is already a mutant in the MCU. It's just that before the Fox-Disney buyout, they had to be really careful about the way they use that term because part of the deal that gave Fox control of all the X-Men also gave them exclusive rights to use the term mutants in movies, which is why up to this point, you've never heard anybody inside an MCU movie say the word mutant. But obviously the big thing now in Marvel Phase 4 is that's all going to change because it's not a consideration. They have the rights to all those characters back. They can say mutant as many times as they want. In another Marvel X-Men related news, there were recent rumors that they were planning a revival of X-Men the Animated Series for Disney+, the same way that they revived Young Justice for the DC streaming service. Most of you are probably at least a little familiar with X-Men the Animated Series wherever you encountered it, but what happened is originally it was canceled because of a dispute with the network, not because it was unpopular. Hopefully they find a way to bring it back or even just do another partial season. A while ago, the creators even said that they had pitched Marvel Studios on doing an official revival. Kevin Feige himself said he was a big fan of the series. And side note, around that same time, you were also probably watching Spider-Man the Animated Series, the 1990s version. That was canceled at the same time as X-Men the Animated Series by Fox for the same reason. Just another dispute with the network, so they canceled all the animated series that they were doing at the time. And if that wasn't getting you hyped enough, Marvel was also recently doing a bunch with the animated episodes. They did a big rewatch project a little while ago talking to the original creators of X-Men the Animated Series, so it just sounds like it's all part of Marvel's grand plan to try and hype up more X-Men animated projects in the future as well.
I know how you feel about it, Wolverine, but...
You know nothing, little man.
Everyone let me know in the comments, though, if New Mutants actually does do well, surprisingly, at the box office or financially, and they want to keep the characters around, what do you want them to do with future New Mutants movies? Do you want them to do a sequel as a Disney Plus series? Do you want it to be its own thing? Do you want them to cross over with other big Marvel characters? Post all your predictions in the comments below, and we'll cross our fingers that nothing else changes and they don't bump the release schedule again. While you wait for everything, click here for my brand new Deadpool 3 video, and click here for my brand new Mandalorian Season 2 video. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.